basically, I set up in Hong Kong the company 3 years ago. That was more of a consultancy business. Where I was working with a training agency to try and go more digital, to do the transition between a very traditional industry to the digital world and the needs of the new salespeople, how to train them, how to get the job done with digital. So we started then to look into web, to look into mobile, to look into every possible tool that will help these people. So that came to mobile. Then I drew the architecture of as a consultancy, I drew the architecture of the first project, and I was like, okay, how do I get this done? I had no budget to hire developers or whatever, so I got through an agency first as a project base. So we did 1.5 years of development through agency to go to have the first 1.0 project of the app that worked well. We set it up this thing in the retail stores, and that was working. After this 1.5 years of development that we were very happy with, we had to transition to a different model because I would say our needs were different. We were looking in maintaining the system, developing the system depending on the feedback of the users of the market, but much less heavy work.
So you got into more of a maintenance and development phase, or
exactly. The building was there, but we had to change the windows, the doors, improve the painting, these things. So that was more small works.
What were your apprehensions about outsourcing initially? Were you concerned?
I would say yes. It was kind of different because being on the agency model is anywhere a project. So we pay for the delivery and we're like, okay, that's their work, it's our project, and then it's done. And outsourcing was for me some kind of like, I'm going to lose my technology, or this is not going to be mine, or I don't know these people, they are not in the same country as I am, how is it going to work? But at the same time, I'd say I was even more afraid of having my own team. It was the objective. I was like, okay, let's phase out the agency work and let's build a team in Hong Kong. Let's have talented developers. And then I looked onto the market and I was like, interesting. So that's going to be expensive. That's going to be a long learning curve.
And also with the outsourcing, you then have, it's less expensive, but there's less obligation then. Yeah, I mean, it's a kind of turn on, turn off service.
Yeah.
So as you said you built out the original product and now you're in sort of a maintenance and improvement phase. Has the team been able to flexibly kind of accommodate your needs as they evolve?
That's the best part, I think, of outsourcing. I wouldn't say it's less expensive. It's not cheap to outsource, yet it's I would say, the cost around having developers that are lessened. Because basically, in terms of what I pay the developers is the same I could get for a developer in Hong Kong, not in the US of course, but in Hong Kong, if I find them, that would be maybe a bit more expensive or a bit cheaper, I don't know, but you save all the cost structure of being flexible and have continuous learning. What I truly love with the Arcanis model is that whenever I got a need, I'm like, guys, I need an Android front-end developer, one iOS, 2 backends, and then they're like, guys, you're in Hong Kong, we're in the Philippines, you guys need to be busy all the time, so we recommend to take a coordinator so she can part-time do the job and follow up with the developers. So we're like, hey, that's a good idea, let's try. Very flexible, adapted to our needs, and in that, we save money because the developers I work with are never not busy. They are delivering in deadlines because they are being managed. We are clients and we still kind of are able to develop kind of a team spirit because it's always the same. Contrary to the agency where I was working with just one developer. I didn't know the name, I was just writing to a project manager and then you don't know who's working. So.
And with outsourcing then, you're paying an hourly rate, and that hourly rate, as you said, is comparable with Hong Kong but cheaper than the US. But within that hourly rate, you are getting the this oversight, the support, and the infrastructure and specialism of Arcanis within that hourly rate. Yeah?
Exactly. So it seems like on the front end you spend the same money, but we realize afterwards that we save a lot of money on. We don't have to manage the people, we don't have to keep them trained, we don't have to create an environment for them, we don't have to pay an office for them in Hong Kong. So yes, overall it's less expensive. It's just at the very beginning when you go and you're like, oh, it's not that cheap to outsource, but you're hiring the right talents because they look into your project, they know what you're doing, and they're like, okay, for this I'm going to put a junior and I'm going to put a senior, or this you are going to need for 2 or 3 months a UX designer that is going to work on your project, but then I don't have to hire this UX and then I don't know what to do with him. So it's for us flexibility was the key asset.
As your business expands, and obviously within an expanding business there's expanding roles and functions, would you see outsourcing as the way forward for the entire infrastructure as your business, like customer services, sales, or do you think it just works for this particular section of your business?
I would say for the technological part, definitely, and I think I'm going to stick to it. My first point of view was like, yeah, okay, we're going to outsource as long as we can't have any developers, but after it's done. But I'm more and more convinced that it's a good thing, especially for the operational development, not the strategic development, which we hired people here in Hong Kong and in Montreal to really think about the vision of the tech. For the rest, no. We're outsourcing a lot of content, more and more, because we're creating content for our clients, and for everything that is related to markets or trends or new technologies, we prefer to outsource because we need to blend knowledge, and if you're always in the same bubble, you don't see anything, you just into your thing and you don't have like outside advice and everything. So I truly believe outsourcing in terms of knowledge is like critical. Yet, for instance, sales, I wouldn't be able to, at the moment, I wouldn't feel comfortable to outsource my sales because I think people need to have a deep knowledge of the product and a good relationship with clients. And as we sell our products year after year, we need to keep this relationship going on and not have different contexts going through. And so we want to, I would say, build this team spirit. We truly believe in team spirit in our company, and we want people to feel good when they work in our locations. So,
how do you feel the team spirit translates to your outsourced developers? Are they still able to embrace your culture, your spirit, your mission?
That's the way I chose Arcanis actually, and not a, like, I would say, random center wherever in being in Hong Kong or being in India or being in the US or being in Northern Europe, for instance, because they happen to take care of their people and share the same spirit as we do, educating them, training them, taking care of them, paying them properly. So it's different. They are a team, and they are the team of Arcanis, and they are full-time on our project, and we manage to know them, we go and see them, we meet with them. So yes, it's not our team, but we feel like it is, and we have constant contact with them. So yes, it's definitely, we sent our developer to the Philippines for a few weeks so they can like really work with the team, get to know them, discuss with them on a more personal basis, just to get to know each other. So yes, definitely.
And my mission is to get more people into outsourcing, and you are almost, I'm preaching to the converted with you, because you are a foreigner sitting in Hong Kong and you have an outsourced development team in Cebu in the Philippines, but you were saying also in Canada you had your strategy team. So you are really working from very much a worldwide platform for sourcing your skill sets, are you?
That's what I truly believe in. I don't want to limit myself to what is in my particular matter surrounding. So I'm finding talents where I find them, and we create a structure around it to make it work. So yes.
What do you say to those people that are successful business people in the West, but they are sitting in their hometown, employing from their hometown, and have the sense that they need all of their employees sitting in the same room as them?
I think it depends. It takes a lot more training and a lot more time, because that's what I said to my guys yesterday. I'm hiring people who teach me what to do. And these people, I don't really have time at the moment and the resources to train them. So I'd better find people who can actually bring something to the company. And then, yes, of course, we want to develop. We have a lot of people from Hong Kong working in the Hong Kong office. In Canada, it's the same. We have people from Canada. So we're not into the logic of bringing people out. We want to allow them to travel in between the different locations, of course. Yet, to me, people have their knowledge and they have the network. So if they are willing to work in their environment, they are going to bring us something very precious. That is the different cultural knowledge and the different markets where they live. So we're just going to create an environment for them to develop. I don't believe in random work from a beach on Thailand, because to me, we want to foster this team spirit and the exchange of knowledge, the natural training. So I don't want to have many people around the world, just different locations. So I can bring people in Canada from the US or from South America, and then in Europe from different countries of Europe. So they're still close to their home, and yet we can benefit from their skills, and they can help us on these markets.
What do you say to people that might be apprehensive about outsourcing and are considering it?
I would say there is two major things that I considered before that. It was the fear of losing my technology, because it was not mine and I was controlled. So we need to trust these people, because if they fuck up, my clients fuck up and my contracts fuck up. So it's just, we need to trust them, and I do trust them, so that's good. But at the beginning, I was like, okay, how does it work? So I was very happy that these people were recommended to me. They were not crazy people, and they're solid. And the other thing was basically to the same thing that happened with the agency. We got back with a code that was very complicated. Right. That could work with a team of 100 people working on different things, but that could not really scale and be very efficient. So when your guys are not writing the code, you're like, okay, what am I gonna get? Am I gonna be stuck with them because they want to retain me as a client? So they're not gonna be very transparent with that. But it's not, in the end, not the case, because Arcanist is very transparent in their work. We have two developers working closely with them on the same code, so they know, and they are really into knowledge transmission, explanation. Nothing is dark. So I was a bit afraid of this darkness of agencies, we keep our market, our business, but yeah. I think you need to have the right people talking to you when you go to outsource, because you need to be reassured.
Because it's a close partnership, isn't it? You really are working in partnership, so it's you do have to feel comfortable and have the trust and have those aspects of a partnership.
Exactly.